this game, if I'm honest with you. So that's that. Sorry, people. I might as well include them final moments in the review from in the review timestamp. But yeah, let's talk about the player ratings now, people. So yeah, man. Obviously, I don't think any player was lacking effort. Some were lacking quality. So if I start with Aaron Ramsdale, folks, Ramsdale. Still six, I don't think it was a quiet day from you today. Didn't have to do much realistically. Distribution at times was actually unusually shaky, and six is a calm result. Think you did all right when called upon. Didn't have nothing to do really. That heart and mouth moment with Ben White came to no avail, thankfully. It is what it is where that's concerned, man. So yeah, I'll give him a 5. Pardon me, Tomiyasu. I give him an 8, obviously lacking a bit going forward, but I think Tomiyasu had a very encouraging game for us defensively, especially in the second half when we needed to keep things simple. Ben White, in fact, you know what, Tomiyasu 7, just because I think Ben White, I give Ben White an 8. Involved in the goal, was trying to, similar to the cup game. We was in the cup leads where we lacked a bit of fluidity because we made change. Ben White took the responsibility and said, I know I'm a centre back, but let me try dribble, let me try and make something happen. I think we needed that today. And I think Ben White just had a good game. I think he had a very good game. Even a shot that was going on target with Watford, he made an important block. Very good game from Ben White. I don't think he's going to convince anyone of the 50 million price tag against Watford, with respect, but you can only play what's in front of you. Him and Gabriel are going from strength to strength. I also think Gabriel had a good game. I'd give him an 8. Not that these players had much to do today, really and truly, but it can't always be that. Tavares, I would give him a 7. In fact, I'll give Tavares an 8. I think you also had a good game, really. In fact, I'd give Gabriel a 7. I think Ben White was slightly better. Tavares, I'd give you an 8. Another game you did well, from the start, you moved forward, man. I liked what I saw from Tavares. Saka, think he had an okay game. I'd say a 7, just about. I think he worked hard, really and truly. Maybe a 6, but I think Saka done all right. He got 7 for Saka, I would say. I think he worked well when I watched it. Lokonga, I'd give Lokonga a 7. We I can only get at Lokonga and Ainsley for their limitations. They're not progressive midfielders, so they will obviously hit the like button, going to lack in that regards. But I think Lokonga got a 7. I feel Ainsley Maitland-Niles deserves an 8 because he was just a tiny bit better than him, and I think it was a real marker. I saw someone that wanted to play well today, but I saw someone that's quite frankly sick of being starved of first team football and wanted to put that right and wanted to have something to say within that regards. And I saw a good performance. I would say Ben White, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Tavares, probably the guys for me that just played to a higher level. I know Smith Rowe is the poster boy and he scored and whatnot, but you get the point. Lacazette obviously won a penalty and it was unfortunate that he's got no change to show for it. But Smith Rowe, on another day, I probably, what, you scored 7 plus a bonus point of an 8, but on another day, probably a 7, probably crippled by the lack of, progressive midfielders in front of him, behind him, apologies. Lacazette, I think Lacazette is a humble 6. I don't think everyone was at a 7. Lacazette worked well, but it was a quiet game from Lacazette. And I'll give Aubameyang a 5 for work rate, but man, the penalty was tired. I think, again, I think he worked hard, but I can't really give you anything more than that. You done well, probably, what, I'll give you a 6. I think Laka was a higher 6, if I'm honest with you. Aubameyang missed the penalty, and I think he was, in fact, a 5 is the right result because I think he was chasing the fact that I've missed a penalty where, all right, cool, it's happened. Just work hard for the team. You scored penalties before and been a hero. It weren't your day. So that's probably where I'd be with the player ratings. Ramsdale 6, Tomiyasu 7, Ben White 8, Gabriel 7, Tavares an 8, Saka a 7, Lokonga a 7, Ainsley and Smith Rowe with 8s as well. Do you know what? I'll give Ainsley a 9, Yaka, what else did I ask you to do today? Smith Rowe 8, to Aubameyang 5, Lacazette 6. I think you worked hard, Ainsley, man. With what you could, I think you had a good game. You exceeded my expectations, I would say, Ainsley Maitland.